I would like to thank everyone for coming out here today. Inshallah, we're going to have the sister be speaking on the subject of the hijab in the 21st century and modesty. I would like to introduce Sister and thank her for coming out here today. She's from Kuwait, and inshallah she's going to speak on a matter that I believe we all can reap benefit from. So if I can have your undivided attention, then that would be great.
Bismillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start with an introduction, just so I can get you all to understand a little bit of what I'm talking about before I go ahead and enter starting the lecture.
I got it last week, and then the swollen went down, and then I.
So to start off this style, if I can get this to sit right.
Today I have this niqab style,
and now the trick and the magic is going to happen with the lashes. We're going to add ren lashes. They look like this together on top of my lashes.
I am a huge and passionate supporter of gay and transgender rights. I always have been. And why does anyone need to get married? You know, I don't believe that, you know, I mean, I've had 2 children outside marriage. You know, I'm not gloating about it. It's not something that I'm proud of. But it's not something that I'm ashamed of either.
Bismillah, Rahman, Rahim, Rahman, Rahim, Bismillah.
So the reason I wanted to show you a little bit of this clip is so that you can understand what the topic is about today. Today I'm going to be discussing with you the hijab in the 21st century. And before I actually get into the topic that I prepared for you today, I want to mention that unfortunately, one of the main reasons that the hijab is not being properly followed is because of the environment that we're living in. Many of the foreigners, our parents, our grandparents, they came to America with every intention except Islam. They came here for a better life. They came here for freedom. They came here for more opportunities. They came here just to change what they were going through. But they didn't come here for the deen. So when you leave that out of your intention, you're going to reap the fruits of what you plant. If they're sitting in school all day long, studying 8, 9 hours a day, and their environment is non-Muslim, what do you think is going to happen? They're free mixing, and they're seeing girls having boyfriends, girls dressing in a seductive way to attract boys. Naturally, they'll start to see that as normal behavior because they're constantly exposed to it. Do you really expect them to benefit from the Muslims if the majority of the time is around the non-Muslims? If they don't have that Islamic identity to walk around with, immediately it's going to get filled with the non-Muslim way of lifestyle. If we don't properly teach and nourish them with Islam, then guess what? They're going to take everything but Islam. And we have to understand, especially the parents, that our daughters are going to get affected by their environment. Just look around you. We see it all the time. Muslim women with identity crisis. They're struggling to sees both sides, the Muslim community and the Western community that they're living in. We see our sisters wearing the hijab, but if you look at her, from the neck up, she looks like a Muslimah. And from the neck down, she looks like a kafira. And just to prove my point, take a look at the women in the clip, for example, that we just saw earlier. It reached a scary point where it's not even about the physical appearance anymore. It's far more disturbing than that. Now it's also about the mentality. They're trying so hard to merge faith and culture together, which only results in a confused and lost person with low self-esteem. Now really the issue comes down to, why are we wearing a hijab that isn't fitting to the definition of Islam? In other words, when you look at history, when you think about the greatest women of Islam, Aisha, Khadija, Sumayya, Khansa radiallahu anhum, and then you look at the women of today, is there a comparison? Is there any link between the two? Especially when it comes to the aspect of hijab. Hijab is not just a piece of clothing that you wear on your body. Hijab also has to do with your akhlaq. It's the way you act, the way you treat each other, the way you act in public, the way you act secretly, your manners, your behaviors, your tone of voice, your shyness, the colors that you wear. All that has to do with hijab. And sadly, this is a big issue that the ummah is facing and is being neglected. Everyone's scared to talk about it. In fact, no one amongst the brothers or the sisters is standing up and properly addressing this issue. How can we find a solution if we don't even know the problem? How can we fix the problem if we're running away from the truth, if we're living in denial? So sisters, today I'm coming as a witness myself, and not only that, but I'm coming from amongst you. I'm coming as a sister. A lot of times when our brothers do try to advise us, they immediately get told that, oh brother, you're too extreme. Brother, lower your gaze. Brother, you're judging me. Brother this, brother that. And subhanAllah, they're getting attacked. They're getting mocked at. They're being insulted and humiliated just for having good intentions. Just for protecting their sisters in Islam. Just for obeying the commands of Allah and His Messenger put upon us. Unfortunately, the sisters today, either they don't have a proper understanding of hijab because they've never been taught it, or we find that the sisters are fighting and neglecting and actually trying to corrupt what the hijab is all about. And sadly, that's the two categories that we put the sisters in today. Either they accept it and they're trying the best to strive to it, or they're neglecting it and they're trying to justify their wrong. Sisters, you have to understand that you are representing the deen of Allah when you're out in public wearing this hijab. And really the point I want to mention is that the hijab is a flag that you're wearing. It's the flag of Islam. You might not see it that way. You might see it as something you were brought up with in your household. It might be cultural. It might be something you're wearing because your friends are wearing it. Or something you're wearing because everyone else is wearing it. But you have to understand, my sisters, that this is a form of da'wah, and that you might be the only Muslim that people are meeting in their life. When you walk around wearing a hijab, they see you, and automatically you're gonna be the first impression of a Muslim. If you're walking around with colorful hijab, with makeup, with high heels, tight clothes, what image are you showing the non-Muslims? What are you saying about yourself? They don't know anything about Islam. All they know about Islam is what you are showing them. The media is already distorting and tarnishing our image, and they're just polluting our reputation. And you have this chance to fix that stereotype. So why are you making things worse? Sisters, when you wear a hijab, you don't want to cause any type of fitna. That's why we don't talk in a soft tone of voice. That's why we don't laugh loud in public. You have to understand, my sisters, that Allah made the man and the woman differently. Allah made the man very attracted to the women. And Allah put zina upon us. He put that beautification upon us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ. Beautified for people is the love that which they desire of women. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the pleasures that He puts in this life for people. And the ayah continues to mention children, money, gold, silver, and so on. Because these are all the things that the nafs wants, that the nafs needs, that the nafs pleases and seeks to have. But think about this, my sisters. Think about this ayah very carefully. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mention first? He starts with women. Why? Because the test with women is more tempting. The Prophet ﷺ says, I did not leave a test behind more tempting to men than women. So my sisters, this is why Allah tells us and Allah commands us to cover our zina, to protect ourselves and to keep you self-chaste, to keep yourself pure, and to protect the valuables on you. When you're out tempting men with your zina, not only are you sinning yourself, not only are you accumulating bad deeds, but these are deeds that will hold weight on your scale the day of judgment. SubhanAllah, can you imagine? Can you imagine that you just got a check and you cashed it? And you're walking around in public with $1,000 in your hand. If you're walking with $1,000 in your hand, just waving it in the air, do you think that people are just going to ignore it? Of course not. Someone might try to rob it from you. Someone might try to hit you and then rob it from you. Someone might try to follow you home, and Allahu A'lam what can happen from there. But the point is, this is exactly what you're doing, my sisters. You're doing this when you're wearing that modern hijab. You're luring the men and you're creating temptation. Unfortunately, we see sisters wearing spandex. They're wearing spandex with a scarf on their head and call that a hijab. Spandex, subhanAllah. Sisters, when you wear spandex or tight jeans, all you're doing is covering the color of your skin, not the shape of your body. Wallah, you are causing so much fitna for the men and for the women as well. It's haram for me as a woman to see your awrah. So what about the men that will lust off you? What kind of fitna are you causing, sisters? And not only that, but do you think about the perfume that you wear? SubhanAllah, so many times sisters would walk by and the whole hallway would smell like strong perfume, or a lotion scent, or a mist that they spray on their body. Did you forget that the Prophet ﷺ said that if one of you puts on perfume and a non-mahram man smells you, it's as if you committed adultery with them? Don't you think about that, sisters? Don't you think that, subhanAllah, I might be getting the sin for adultery of every single man that smells me each time I leave the house? Are you ready to stand in front of Allah with that on your scale? Are you confident knowing that this is on your account the day of judgment? SubhanAllah. How often do we reflect, my sisters? Today, I'm really asking you and I'm reaching out directly to your hearts and asking you to please think. Just think for a second. How are you dressing? What are you wearing? Is this a hijab, and are you representing Islam in its highest form? The image of the hijab in the 21st century has become a joke. And sadly, it's only getting worse and worse. We have hijabi women going to tattoo parlors and getting tattoos all over their bodies and piercings all over their faces. We see a rise in hijabis getting plastic surgery. We've even have reports of women at nightclubs with a hijab on dancing with kuffar men. And if that's not bad enough, there's hijabi women at casinos gambling. Is this a hijab? Everyone's turning a blind eye to this problem. No one wants to speak about this problem. Everyone's ignoring it as if it doesn't exist. They want to bury their heads in the sand and pretend that it's not even happening. And I'm telling you, as Allah is my witness, that this is the problem, and the only way to fix it is by acknowledging the problem. If you want to keep ignoring the problem, if you want to keep making excuses, if you want to lie to yourself and say that those girls are a very small minority, alhamdulillah, you might as well walk out right now and not even waste your time. But if you're sincere and you have a soft heart and you want to better yourself every single day when you wake up, then you will take this advice. And this advice is not from me. This is what Allah and His Messenger left us with. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not going to sugarcoat things and water down my religion just to gain popularity. I'm here to speak the truth and only the truth because I'm accountable on the Day of Judgment for what I don't say, for seeing wrongdoing and keeping silent. Sisters, it's better for you to acknowledge that the hijab you're wearing may not fit the description of the Sunnah instead of fighting it. Because when you're fighting it, now you're trying to change the deen of Allah. Are you willing to stand in front of Allah on the Day of Judgment with firm yaqeen, knowing that you're trying to change His deen? And sadly, this is another big fitna that we have in the Ummah. People, because they don't want to change themselves, they want to change Islam. They want to change Islam because they themselves are so weak and don't want to accept the rules to Islam. They want to pick and choose what they want from the deen according to what fits their lifestyle. We can't do that. We can't do that, sisters. If this is your definition of hijab, then take it off. Take it off. When you're wearing tight, colorful clothing and full makeup, or even a sparkly abaya with rhinestones that looks more like a dress, you're actually disrespecting the symbol of hijab. Some of you might say that the hijab is a personal journey, and I completely understand that. But sisters, you should start that journey and work on fixing your haya first. You should start by wearing loose, long skirts. Then, by not showing your wrist. Then ease on the makeup until you're comfortable not wearing makeup at all. Then you should start by lowering your tone of voice, by being aware of your actions in public. These are the proper steps that you should take before putting on a hijab, not the other way around. You have to understand that what you're wearing is not an Islamic hijab. Call it what you want, but that's a fact. The problem I find with many reverts and many liberal Muslims is that they're taking their Western traditions, their values, their beliefs, their way of life, and they're trying to fit it into Islam. If you're wearing it for Allah and Him alone, then you must strive to fully follow His commands. Allah and His Messenger have given us conditions for the hijab, and according to those conditions, if your hijab is a modern hijab, then you're far from ready from wearing a hijab. And to be honest, it just makes it look like you have no haya. The Prophet ﷺ said, modesty and faith are two that go together. If one is lifted, then the other is lifted. He also said that haya is a part of iman, and that haya does not produce anything but goodness. So you see, my sisters, haya is inward, but it shows from the way you dress. These are not my words. These are the words of the Prophet ﷺ. Being defeated in your outward appearance only means that you're defeated at heart. Therefore, I go back to what I was saying earlier. Work on your inner weakness. Work on your haya. Work on your iman. And then put on a hijab. SubhanAllah, many of you either come from a family that encourages the correct Islamic hijab or doesn't mind it. So what is your excuse? What's preventing you from wearing the correct Islamic hijab? If your mom is the one telling you to wear a hijab, or even to wear a niqab, what is your excuse? SubhanAllah, look at our Muslim sisters in France. They're fighting and struggling to wear the niqab. Many of them got arrested. Many of them got put in jail. Many of them were forced to take off the niqab. Many sisters even wear doctor's masks just so they can get something near the niqab, subhanAllah. These are our sisters in France that are fighting for the deen. Look what they are going through, and look what you are doing. They're willing to get arrested and ticketed and fined. They're being bullied, they're being harassed, and they're being spit on. SubhanAllah, there's so much fitna going on there, but they're being strong. They're fighting for it, and they're staying firm. You sitting here in America, you have that chance to wear the Islamic hijab, to wear the niqab with ease, with comfort, relaxed. And these sisters are fighting for it. So don't give me the excuse that you can't do it. Don't give me the excuse that it's too difficult. No, sisters, the only thing that's difficult is yourself. The only one stopping you is you. Don't blame it on your husbands. Don't blame it on your fathers. Don't blame it on society. Don't blame it on school. Don't blame it on work. If you really want to do something for the sake of Allah, no matter what the obstacles are, no matter what the consequences are, then you'll do it. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, there's nothing halal or haram except that I've told you about it. So why is it that we're trying to change the image of hijab? Why? Why are we trying to change Islam? How about instead we change ourselves? Why are we trying to water down our religion and trying to make it fit into the 21st century? Islam was, is, and will remain the same in every era, time, and place because it's meant to be that way. The Prophet ﷺ said before he died, I leave you with two things, the Quran and the Sunnah. If you hold firm, you'll never go astray. SubhanAllah, he didn't say if you just believe. He said if you hold firm. I swear by Allah that you'll see a big change in yourself, in society, the way you treat each other, the way people treat you, the way people interact with you. You'll see a big change. You'll see a 180-degree change from everything if we just hold firm to the deen. And imagine, sisters, maybe just by you wearing a proper Islamic hijab, you'll spark another sister to wear a proper hijab. And another sister, and another sister. All it takes is one. Who knows? Maybe it's you that's going to benefit the ummah tomorrow. But it starts today. If we just look deeply into a woman's worth, a woman's value, we understand that the importance of a woman and the role in society is her. The woman is the heart of the ummah. If she goes astray, then the entire ummah will fall. But if she stays firm, then the entire ummah will rise. And as we all know very well, behind every successful man, behind every great warrior, there stands a strong woman. You, my sisters, are underestimating your power. You have the power to make history. If you want victory, then you go back to the time of the Sahabiyat. And it starts by putting an abaya and an Islamic hijab. This is your sword to victory. Once you do that, you'll get a different understanding of life. When you look at life through the lens of the hijab, the real Islamic hijab, then and only then you'll fully understand your purpose of life. I ask Allah that He guide us all to the straight path and that He give us all the ability to follow the footsteps, the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. May He give us all the strength to resemble the mothers of the believers and the sahabiyat. May Allah forgive us all for our sins and strengthen our iman. May He give us the strength to speak the truth and to stand up for what is right. I ask Allah not to take our souls from this dunya until He is pleased with us, and may our last dying words be the shahadat of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Jazakumullah khair for coming. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.